Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Face shave time. I'm on daily shaves at the moment, and of course I haven't been recording for I've done one recording over the last 2 weeks. My channel has been rolling out videos, but as a result of selling my smartphone and moving on to more basic technology, I have opted to buy a camera. So I've sold quite a lot of shaving gear, a lot of brushes, a lot of sets, and a lot of stuff to fund the purchase of this camera. So what I'm recording on now is the Sony ZV-1, or the ZV-1 if you're in America or Canada, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It's going to be a trial and error period for me. I'm going to figure out what settings work best for me. I've got product showcase mode, there's blurred background. I think I've got blurred background on at the moment, so it focuses in on me. And obviously because the camera's small, but I can't just mount it right bang in the middle of my mirror, so I'm looking at the camera here, but where my camera would normally be would be right there where I'm looking now and where I'm standing now. So it's going to take a little bit of adjustment. I'll probably try it on different sides of the countertop and just see what works best. But anyway, this soap came in and I want to give it a bash. Now let's see how this, look at that. Product showcase mode, bing bang bong, straight away. Sorrento from Moon Soaps. So as you can see on the side here, it's a tallow soap. It's hand rendered in-house tallow made by the lovely fine folks over at Moon Soap, Zach and Melody. And the scent on this, I thought it was similar to Take Out Night from Lather Bros, but it's not. It's very similar to the one with the flamingo on it, and I can't remember the name of it. It fits it. I can't remember, but Pink and Blue from Lather Bros. It's a very fruity, tropical type scent. Quite strong, probably like a 6 out of 10 in the scent strength, but I'm going to give that a bash. Now, as this is my first video on this camera, I don't know whether it was best to pick out my favourite brush, and pretty much my favourite razor, just to see how it goes, but that's what I did. I've had it soaking in the water there for, I don't know, not very long anyway, but let's see how this focus works again. I think that's what perfectly, like bang, focus, bing bang bong, look at that. There are those wonderful tips. Now I don't know how much blurring is happening there, but that is a 28mm rhodium knot, and that is that Dan Robb handle. So you can see the focus, because I'm very close to the camera lens here. Is it going to focus that close? I think that's about as close as I can get, but that's still pretty good. The great thing with this is, it doesn't matter what I do in front of the camera, it stays there. Even though my face is in the background, as soon as I remove it, it should focus instantly on my face. Put that back up, focus in on it. It's brilliant. No more pissing about with focus, hopefully. I've heard these are pretty reliable. They are very new. They've literally just came into Australia. When I ordered this, 2 days after I ordered it on Saturday. They just received shipment on Monday. It shipped on Monday. It's now Thursday and it's here. I've just had yesterday, I'm just going to start loading up the brush here. Yesterday was Wednesday, the 22nd of July, and I had another operation. I had my right leg varicose veins removed. So that was done under local anaesthetic. It's the first time I've had an operation done under local anaesthetic. I'll be honest with you, my leg is hurting, but I just had to get a video out of the way and give this a bash. So hopefully it gets done before the wife gets home and gives me a rollicking. My middle kid's at home today. He wasn't very well this morning. Had a bit of a cough, and as you guys know, worldwide at the moment, if you've got a cough, you ain't going to school. So I don't know whether he's just got very good at creating coughs, because this is a few times it's happened since the coronavirus. But you can't take that risk, can you, with your kids? So yeah, it'd be interesting. So let me know what you think. How's the video quality? Is it any good? How's the audio quality? Obviously, I'll listen to it a little bit back. My plan moving forward is to try and do a little bit more with the videos and a little bit more with the channel in terms of what sort of editing I do and things like that. Of course, this does make it a little bit more difficult. What I might get is like a suction mounted little shelf that I can put on the mirror, level it off, and just sit the camera on the shelf. Of course, it's a lot more natural looking straight into the camera than it is having to look over here into the lens, but it's not too much of a problem. I shall be back. Alright, I'm back. That was my young bloke ringing. He's just finished school and he's asking if he was getting picked up, but because I'm still not driving because of my wrist, and because I had an operation to remove varicose veins from my leg yesterday, I'm quite clearly not driving. So yeah, the varicose vein operation that I had yesterday went very well. It was different. Is that I hear? Oh no, just a bit of soap. Having never had an operation where you actually, when you're awake, it's a very different sensation, you know. When you're getting put under, you go through, you know you're getting an injection, but then you know you're getting put under, you won't remember it, you wake up and you'll probably be in a little bit of pain, a little bit of morphine later and you're done. But when you're wide awake, it wasn't very pleasant. I was given a shot of morphine before I went in, just to sort of calm the nerves and sedate me a little bit. And then the operation took about probably 25 minutes, something like that, roughly. And it was a endovenous procedure, so it was done by laser. So they push a laser up into the vein and then they draw it out very slowly, half a millimetre a second, I think he said, using a machine. And as it's drawing the fibre out, it actually seals up the vein. And then I had some sclerotherapy, which is pretty much like putting glue inside the other veins to seal them up. And it was relatively pain-free. I was quite surprised. The first few pricks from the local anaesthetic are always the worst, but nothing major. Yeah, certainly another experience, but that's 3 operations in like 4 months for me. 2 legs, varicose veins, and my wrist, which, as you can probably see there, that's where the incision was, straight in there. This blur mode's amazing how that picks up, that looks so sharp. And then there was 2 smaller incisions through there, keyhole. Right. Now this soap, as you can see there, look at that, that's amazing. Original tallow formula. Now this is the same formula from the very first shaving soap that Moon Soaps released. Now Zach that makes the shaving soap, he was a butcher. That is why their slogan is from the butcher to the barber, sorry. And he renders his own tallow for his shaving soap, and I think that's brilliant. It's not brilliant if you don't like using tallow or animal products. So that sort of screws that one up. He also hand turns wooden brushes as well. He does resin as well, but I actually prefer his wooden brushes, wooden handles. I think they're very, very nice. I haven't got one yet. I do hope to grab one eventually, to show a bit of support. I mean, I've been very, very lucky with, you know, Moon Soap and Lather Bros. There's a few companies out there that send me stuff reasonably regular. I mean, Moon Soap has sent me every single scent that he's made, all the way from America to here, and I know that's not cheap. But he makes a fantastic product. The customer service is excellent. It's looking pretty good though. Now, I'm not sure whether this has got a filter on it at the moment to make me look prettier. I'm going to have a look at all the settings and just mess about with that a little bit. I was just too excited, I just wanted to get a video done. But the actual quality of the camera and how good the autofocus is, from what I can see on the little screen, it's not a big screen, I don't have any contacts in, so it's a little bit blurry for me, so I'm not seeing it crystal clear, but I can see that it's focusing, which is a good start. I can see that the audio is probably a little bit low. I could probably mess about with the audio setting a little bit just to make it pick up a little bit louder. But it's going to be trial and error until I find what works for me. But I just love that. How quick is that? Bang, straight in. 28mm of rhodium goodness. Right, now the razor, let's see if it picks it. Right, let's see if this is any better. I've just had to go into the settings and turn off the, turn on the high temperature setting. I think it overheated. It overheats on 4K after about 5 minutes from what I've read, and I forgot to do that, and that's one of the key things for recording, so hopefully it should record indefinitely now. Right, I've just touched up the lather again. It's been sat in my face for quite a while, so hopefully I don't have too many issues. And here we go. I've got the, carved Christopher Bradley razor. Look at that for focus, fantastic. Stainless steel razor, and I've got a numerous use POLSilver blade in here, which I didn't think was as good as the Wizamet. I'm now finding I think I prefer it. One of the fantastic features about this camera is it's got a red light on the front that actually is reasonably bright, and you know when it's recording, so whenever that light's not on, I know I'm not doing a recording. So if I miss the audible beep, I know to switch it back on again or there's something wrong. Like I say, this is going to be trial and error. This is going to be trying out new camera angles. Right, I'm just going into the sink now because the water is absolutely freezing now. I want a little bit of warmth because it is pretty damn cold at the moment. Right, let's have a little check at this residual slickness. Oh yeah, fantastic. So in order for me to put the camera from here over here, looking towards the window, it can be done. I just have to figure out the best way to sort of get this exposure to work correctly so that I can use the product showcase and so that I can use the blurry background, because I think the blurry background's pretty cool. I think that for how crisp and clear the image is, from what I can see anyway. It might not be crisp once I actually chuck it in the computer and mess about with it for a bit. But that's amazing. Look at that. Bang. Straight into the brush. Bang. You'll be sick of this by the time I finish this video, I tell you. See, for me, as a person that I don't use as much stuff as I used to, basically because at the moment, for the last 12 months, I've not been able to really afford it, in all honesty. I've got a few packages coming in. Well, actually, I've only got one now, actually. They've all come in now. I've got a package coming in that I know is pretty big. I've seen the photograph of it. It looks massive. So I'm really excited to get that, and I think it's going to give me quite a lot of things that I can use on the channel to give me some newish content. I have to say I was a little bit worried with this Moon Soaps, this Sorrento, with it being so strong, it might react to my skin, especially with it being a sort of citrusy type scent. It's just a shame that the camera's just a little bit to the left. I think I might have to do it from over this side to get a better angle. But anyway, here we go. Of course, like I say, this is a whole new place for me. I've never owned a camera like this. I've never owned a quality camera that actually does what I want it to do. I've had cameras in the past, but they've all been, you know, sort of 50, 60 quid back in the UK, so $100. Whereas this one, I managed to get from Sony Australia, and I got them to price match to $1,059, which is the same price that, well, pretty much the same price that it was released as its initial price by Sony. So it does retail over here normally for £1,299. So like I say, a lot of shaving gear left in. The brushes, you will not see as many brushes now because there's a lot of them gone. I tell you what, this showcase mode. Oh, it makes your teeth look how yellow my teeth look with this white lather. I need to make some teeth lather. Paint it in my mouth for my videos. Right. If you're wondering what that is, it was just a little ingrown hair that I couldn't let escape, so I had to tackle it with a pair of tweezers. Okay, this soap is very slick. The reason I'm saying that is I found something out recently when I'm doing my shaves. If a soap isn't extremely slick and I do this against the grain part here, even if I'm using this exact same razor with the same blade, which I have been using, it will feel a little bit rougher if it's not a super slick soap. So I never really quite understood, if I'm honest with you, why slickness was so important. I know it allows the blade to go across your skin and stuff like that, but if you're going against the grain, I thought it was the blade that was causing you all the issue, but in reality a lot of it could have been due to lack of slickness from the soap. Right, turn away my face. Yeah, I don't think I'm a fan of the camera being there. I think, in all honesty, I want to try and get it bang in front of my face again. I think that just works better. It's more comfortable for me as well, even though it's wider, it's a lot wider than a phone, so it's going to take up a lot of my beauty space in the mirror. I've taken a photograph as well before here. I used the camera for the photograph as well, so for the... I'll tell you what, it's a lovely shade. This is a really good soap. And I've got the A plate on here, and I have to say, the A and the B plate on the Calv Christopher Bradley razor for me is pretty much as good as it gets. I'm very pleased that the camera has stayed on this time and hasn't switched itself off. And apologies about the chest hair and the back hair and everything like that, but I can't really. I'm just going to show you this here. Look at that! Boom! Boom! That's fucking so good, isn't it? I'm so excited about fucking focus. Here we go, look at this. I'm trying trying to be gentle here with my wrist. Stunning lather. Still very dense as well. It sat on the brush for a little while as well, so it's done really, really good. Just going to rinse this knot out now. So get all this soap out. It's the only trouble when you've got hand-tied, dense quality badger knots. They do tend to hold the lather after the shave, so they do take a lot longer for me to clean out. It's not a bad thing, but when you live in a country where water's quite expensive, you don't want to be running it all down the drain. Needs must, eh? I think it's been pretty eventful the last few weeks with having my wrist operated on, having my leg done under local anaesthetic. And by the way, if you ever have to go and get varicose veins stripped or varicose with anything done under local anaesthetic, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. I just had visions that it was going to be absolutely horrendous, and I was absolutely shitting myself, if I'm honest. I was not looking forward to it whatsoever. Right, there's still a little bit of soap in there, but look at that, watch this, look. Oh, how good is that? So good. I'm going to finish off with, sorry, look how good that, wait. Sorrento from Moon Soaps. Glass bottles. I know you can't really hear that clinking because it's not clinking at all, but the glass bottles, really, really nice. Beautiful labels. I love the labels. I think you said this label was done 3 or 4 times. Pump action bottle. Now, look how it focuses. It's so good. The pump action that's on this, it's very good because it's a very liquid balm. Like you can, it's very, very liquidy, so it comes out nice and easy. I'm just going to twist that around there because I like my nozzle pointing at the front. I'm going to pop it onto my dodgy hand, which I'm still practicing getting sort of movement in. Here we go. 1, 2, holy shit, did that go all over my camera? I don't know. Right, I think that's enough. I'm just going to pop another. God, that's coming out like a speed demon, that stuff. There we go, there is the balm. That's probably too, in fact, what does that look like? Doesn't even look like balm, does it really? Rub it in both hands. And here we go. I think there was menthol in the previous balm that I had, but it was a mentholated soap as well, which was the Union, I think, well, I'm sure Union's mentholated. I've just seen that I am CDB. That's absorbed already, that's brilliant, such good stuff. And there was quite a lot in my hand there, so for that to absorb so quickly is great. It's not leaving an oily residue or anything on top of your skin. But yeah, let's try this again. Let's try it again. Hang on, I just want to rinse this soap out. I hate having residue on top of the soap. You've got to clean it out. Clean the soaps out, says me. Or just do what CDB does and take a scoop out and don't actually wet your soaps. I've just got OCD when it comes to shit on top of my soap. So if you ever get a soap from me that's second hand, used, I've piffed it to you, I've sold it or whatever, it always comes rinsed out looking like that. But anyway, it was Sorrento from Moon Soaps, made by Zachary Kent, and Melody is his lovely wife over there, and she does all the soaps and I think the bath bombs and moisturisers and things like that, and Zach basically sticks to the shaving soaps and the shaving brushes. The brush of choice for today was that darn Rob 28mm rhodium knot. I don't know whether is that actually showing these nice fine fibres here, I don't know, I won't know until I look later. But obviously with a blurring background, I'll be surprised if it's not blurring the edge of the fibres, but when you turn it that way it's so crisp. So it's all blurred behind and lovely and crisp, but this is a fantastic brush, it's beautiful to hold, it looks fantastic. I'm just getting a bit excited by this bloody camera, if I'm honest. Look at that! My face, in focus, razor, face, razor. It's fucking brilliant, it's so good. excuse the language, but I'm so excited over a bloody piece of autofocus. But it makes life so much easier when you're doing this sort of thing, you know, when you're putting razors up all the time and brushes and soaps and balms and showing imperfections on your skin or whatever you're doing. But this is the carved Christopher Bradley razor, stainless steel with a 3.25 inch handle. You should hopefully see under there what side's on. I've got that upside down, so it'll be on that way. There we go. Can you see that? There should be an A on there, down the, I think it's down the bottom here, A plate. And I've got a 15th use maybe, something like that, POLSilver Super Iridium blade. It's the first POLSilver I've used, the first POLSilver that I've pulled out the packet, and it's going like a champion. It's so smooth. I mean, that's pretty much a flawless shave for me. The problem is, it'll probably look shit on the camera because the camera's so good, it'll make my skin look shit, which is brilliant. What I've done is I've turned off the skin softening filter as well, which sort of phases out the wrinkles and things like that. This is me as I am, so I've turned it off. I might try it on low next time, and I might try it medium and try it on high. Just go through the settings and have a bit of a laugh and find what I enjoy, what works best. But I think it's just, with this type of thing, it's good to see what you see. So you see my shave as it is, hopefully in 4K, where you can see every imperfection, every blemish and every other little bump and razor and anything. And with that, oh sorry, ready? Ready? So good, isn't it? How good is that? Sorrento post-shave balm from Moon Soaps. I mean, these labels are just beautiful, fantastic labels. There is the ingredients list of the Sorrento balm if you want to have a look. That's that focusing. I want to see how close I can get. So it's about there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I'm going to enjoy figuring this camera out and actually learning how to use it, and just trying to make the channel a little bit more mainstream, I suppose, a little bit more modern, with a bit more twist in it, hopefully a little bit more editing. You know, I want to try and just take the channel a little bit further, and it's not for anything else other than I enjoy doing it, and I always have enjoyed doing it. This is my release. This is where I come when I'm stressed. This is where I come when I'm depressed, when I'm anxious. This is where I come and I offload everything into this little lens here to you folks. And you know, the comments and the feedback are generally very, very good, and it's been a great help to me, YouTube. You know, especially over the last year or so, it's been a really, really hard year. There's a lot of things happened in my household of late, regarding my daughter and things like that, and changes I've made personally that have impacted my life massively. And this gives me an open media where I can come on, and most people are very accepting of it, and most people are going through it as well. You know, you realise when you see people on YouTube like me and other people that give you their life story like I do, that you're not alone. You're not the only person out there that's struggling with 15-year-old kids and struggling with depression and struggling with anxiety and all these other things that go on in life that people just shove under the carpet and you're not supposed to realise. So it's given me this avenue, and it's helped people out with my family as well through YouTube that have actually contacted me, and it's helped other people, and that's massive for me. If you help one person in your life and it helps them, you've done more than a lot of people do. And with that, little words of, I don't know, what do you call them, words of wisdom, words of craziness from a mad Scotsman in Australia. Yes, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.